There aren't many projects that can surprise me after 12 years of working in a terminal. I'll see a new shiny project and would assume it's yet another .files manager, or one of the million modern Rust alternatives for Unix utilities. So when I first saw television, no, not this one, that one, I thought, okay, yet another fuzzy finder. The world has FCF and it's pretty amazing as is. I was wrong. Not only it comes with a theme TUI, easily tweakable UI and a pluggable preview window, and before you say FCF again, I know it can be done there. Please be patient. Above all, like any other TV, it comes with a remote that switches channels. Amongst the obvious envars, directories and text, it comes with pre-baked hooks. These can track Git, Docker, Kubernetes, NPM, Tmux, AWS, your downloads, even SSH hosts. And if that long list doesn't have what you're after, it has a very easy TOML template to build your own channel, which I did. Multiple. You're going to see how these channels replaced over 7 different utilities I had around, and that's before even adding my own. Is it perfect? Well, no, but it's fantastic enough to ignore and a much needed fuzzy picker for those of us who are tired with piping results and figuring out flags. I'll share what's missing at the end in hopes that the authors pick it up, but other than that, it may be the next terminal step I never knew I needed. Let's get into it. Every project starts with a popularity test, and television has already picked up its traction. Written in Rust, and if judging by the comments, 50% of you are now excited, while the other half are off to another video without hearing an extra word. But TV is a very fast, portable and hackable fuzzy finder. Copy the command, run, and apparently the install script's choice for Macs is homebrew rather than its own binary download. If you just hit TV on your home dir, it'll start picking up files, and that's because its default picker is files. That's changeable and configurable, we'll get to that. The Lean help menu shows a few commands, listing available channels in it for completion and update channels, which without it, your telly will stay in black and white. And while the other switches resemble FCF, as you can probably tell by the short list here, that's not why they're here. You cannot fight this. Running TV in a more contained environment gets you an instant file picker with preview, which is a bit like firing up a Terminal Explorer like Ranger. Since I haven't been using these recently, I don't even have it installed, so I'll just pick a file. But what just happened? I'm back to the shell with the file name echoed? I did not expect that. We'll have to put a pin in that and fix it too. Nevertheless, here's one thing I don't need anymore with TV here. Ranger is off the list. And while files are the default, here are other default pickers it comes with, like look surprised, text, search through strings, yielding a very convenient UI. What else? Git repos. You can have a bunch of them under one path with their git log as preview. Makes staying on top of multiple projects a bit easier, although I must be honest, that doesn't guarantee all of them are on the master branch fetched from remote, so I wouldn't say it would be my first choice. Now, instead of guessing our next picker, every TV comes with a remote. This one pops by default with Ctrl-R, where you can zap through different channels, like envars for example, or directories, which already bubbles the Nushell compatibility issues. We'll touch that. You can keep going viewing Git branches and other options. To view the entire list from your shell, just run TV list-channels. Now, one would expect this list would go into TV instead of getting printed, which is a good place to show how things can just be piped to it as well. TV list channels, pipe to TV, and there we go. But pick one and nothing. No, that's not a mistake. TV comes with defaults. What makes it actually powerful, kind of like skills to an AI agent, are channels you create, modify, and control. I don't want to go too deep right now because next you're about to see one command that populates your television with all the commands you can ask for, yet here's a brief one. Under .config television, next to the config file we're going to build together, lies the cable directory. Let's create a new channel. I know this sounds stupid, but I am listing channels. Now this template has a lot more than what you can see here, but to make things short, the metadata keeps what it is, the source, holds the sourcing utility, in this instance, TV list channels, and then we have actions and key bindings to come with them. Enter is mapped to actions zap, and I just made up the zap command, which takes the input from the source, and in our case, just adds it to TV. Actions can be executed to replace TV or forked to run, and when you're done, it'll go back to the original TV source. Lastly, we have the preview, which obviously lists the commands you'd want to run in the preview pane. TV channels, pick something like env, and a nicer way to list channels, isn't it? I can't be the first one to think about it. If there's one thing that consistently kills the momentum in any DevOps workflow, it's waiting for the container builds to finish. Usually, you're stuck watching a progress bar crawl along, but Depot, the sponsor of today's video, is here to completely bypass that frustration. It's a developer infrastructure platform that acts as a literal drop-in replacement for your existing build tools. The transition is seamless because you basically just swap out the Docker build command with Depot build. Behind the scenes, it uses a remote build kit infra with persistent caching to make your Docker builds up to 40 times faster. It also handles native multi-platform support for x86 and ARM without any of the usual emulation slowdowns that eat up your time. Beyond the build themselves, you can also integrate their managed GitHub action runners into your CI/CD pipeline. These runners are about 3 times faster than the standard GitHub hosted ones, mainly because their caching is 10 times faster. You don't have to worry about concurrency limits or being stuck in a queue while the whole team is pushing code at once. Whether an Intel, ARM, or even in Windows or macOS runners, it just works within your existing environment. This is a classic DevOps Toolbox essential that actually gives you time back in your day by removing those CI bottlenecks. It's one of those things you really have to see in your own pipeline to believe how much the speed difference changes your productivity. You can head over to the link in the description to start a free trial and see how much faster your own builds can get. Now, back to the video. Another fantastic TV use case is following logs. I can take my system log and pipe it through, or my Victoria metrics from a remote Kubernetes cluster, easily parsable. There's another utility scratched off my list that I've used so long to read Kubernetes logs. TV just killed it for me. To be really honest, that's one of the nicest ways I've ever read and searched logs. There may be actually something here. You're not limited. Any log, JSON or text will be happily sent to our television. Your Git logs, same processes. Well, yeah, but if you're a Nushel, the table is going to produce some funny looking results. So TV files, as shown earlier, doesn't do much. What you can do inline is run nvim TV files, allowing you to pick a file and send it to nvim. That's nice, but not very efficient. What if we just fix the default behavior? All you have to do is find the files channel under cables, find the edit command, make the binding make sense like enter instead of F12, and update the actions as you see fit. That's pretty much it. Run TV, which I remind you, run files as its default channel anyway, pick a file, and there it is in nvim. What if you don't have a picker, but the search is small enough to just use it? TV can use pipes, but it can also just take your source command and your preview command like so. You can also adjust the preview through the request directly. This is, by the way, one of those things I'm missing here. TV lets you play around, mainly in the TUI, but also through CLI switches. But what if I can't predict the preview size, for example? Wouldn't it make sense to adjust on the fly? You know what? Forget about this one. What if I'm using these flags and I want to also execute on the files here? That's not doable. And that makes TV hackable, but also quite limited at this point. If we're comparing to you know who. A nice feature is search patterns supporting regular expressions, which is a good place to bring up a video on the channel to teach you about regex once and for all. Okay, here it comes, my soft spot, a shell integration. Apparently, Nushel is fully supported, so of course I went for it. Now, what do you get with a television-infused Nushel or a shell? 2 new friends are added, and this is very FZF-like. Ctrl-R for history, which is kind of strange what's filtered here if compared to my Atuin history. I'm sticking to Atuin, but Ctrl-T is a smart completion. I can CD, and here are directories to CD into. The preview is broken though, so a quick edit to the Deers channel, switch ls with something proper like ESA, and sweet, everything works. I can autocomplete, preview the directory, and hit it to get in. Okay, ready? Without the next command, TV is not what it is. TV update channels, give it a couple of seconds and then list cables. I mean, look at that. AWS, Bash, cron, Docker, downloads, fonts, GitHub, Kubernetes, should I go on? Anything you want is right here, and anything you're missing is easily built on your own. All channels are under television's repo, cable, and pick your poison with hopes it's not Windows, and contribute if you have a game changers we can all use, like the channels channel I just built earlier. Don't be annoyed by non-compatible Nushel one-liners. If you're a hipster like me who refuses to go back, I pushed my channels to my .dot files and I'm slowly going over them and fixing compatibility. I even tried throwing OpenCode at it with their free model, which caused even more chaos, so please don't. Nushel is special, and that's probably the limit of AI. So AWS buckets fixed, listing and previewing their contents, which is kind of awesome and definitely stays with me. And there you go, another utility I've used before scratched off my list. Brew packages, there they are. I guess we need more actions, and if we could remove these and use the multi-selection, that would make a great Mac cleaner. Maybe I should build a channel and sell it. Anyway, channels make me come up with so many options. I have to really think these through and start amping my setup with TV commands, like going through work trees or building a Kubernetes speaker that works the way I like. Maybe on another video. Comment if you'd like me to see go crazy on Kubernetes with TV. But want to see something funny? I've spent months building Tmux Session X. It's quite popular too, pops a session switcher in Tmux with name, scrollable preview, and a few other options. This is Session X, a nice pop-up, running sessions, a fuzzy picker, and a scrollable preview. But I can now run another plugin I built called Floaks that pops a floating window and run TV with its Tmux session picker. Isn't that crazy? We just need to work on these actions, but this can easily replace a lot of work. This literally just killed my plugin if someone wants to use TV as their session picker for Tmux. Okay, time for some configuration. .config television config toml is where it all happens. The comments are quite informative as it is, without going into every detail. But I do think this setup deserves a few hard changes before it makes sense. You can play with the themes like Groovebox if that's your thing. I'm sticking to Cat Puccin until I change my mind. My real problem starts with the key bindings. First off, 90% of keys here are mapped to control and too many F keys, which I'm honest, I have no idea where they are on my keyboard, and I'm pretty familiar with my keyboard layout if that wasn't established yet. Many other applications starting from Tmux and Neovim, but also OpenCode and even file managers like Aerospace come with some kind of a leader key, made especially for that. It's quite naive expecting the user to have all their control combos just available for one application. In my setup, control A is already taken by Tmux, HJKL for arrows, and it goes on. So this needs some fixes to say the least, but also if you aren't providing a leader key or a mode change option, I think it's worth mapping other modifiers like right, left, shift or function, something I couldn't find in the docs. Starting from the help menu, one of the things you anxiously want by your side with any new TUI. Not only I had to search and figure out there's non-conflicting partner for control, I literally went and added F keys to my DeFi on another layer just to access the help menu, which would have been nicer if it could use something like the typical question mark, which for some reason isn't mappable here. Nevertheless, help menu activated. Finally, I can breathe a little. Other things we can play with in the layout is toggling the status bar, which is quite useless to be honest, but what I really need is to be able to rotate the layout from vertical to horizontal and back. Toggle layout is your binding. Now I can toggle my preview pane on and off using Ctrl O. I tried to remember that one as open for O, and now with Ctrl T I can toggle the layout, and that's fairly convenient. Lastly, just showing the power behind TV and many tools it can instantly replace without putting in effort, Kubernetes users like me who have used kubectx, which is another pure FZF utility built for switching clusters, get this: Kubernetes context, pick your cluster, which also previews important data, and switch context with one shot. Boom! One channel just killed another dedicated utility I previously had, with a better flow and additional helpful information. I think it's clear by now, TV's power actually lies in its simplicity and lean approach, but it still feels a bit clunky or missing obvious stuff. Not enough for me to forget about it, I'm definitely keeping this one here, and there are a few channels I've started working on. This one is a keeper, replaces almost 7 different utilities I currently have, and the templating features make it fantastic. I'd love to have a config leader key, more modifier keys for config, an execute flag for the CLI, and if I'm not pushing it too far, fixing all those usual crazy bugs. If you're not convinced, and even if you are, please watch the next FCF video, because this is one of the most, if not the most powerful CLI we currently have on the internet. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.